Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate. I hope everybody has had a peaceful, positive, productive start to your day today. If not, pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that today. I also pray that He clothes us in His armor from head to toe, that He strengthens our discernment and guides our steps as we go throughout this day. That being said, we're just going to kind of slowly get into it. I am able to come on and do videos or lives. I'm not going to be able to have it at any set time, but I'm going to try to get back in the swing of things and at least try to get on every other day. Got some music going on in the background, got the radio on. They've been playing Christmas music all morning, so I might mess around with the angle a little bit throughout the video. I'm trying to get it better. All right, we're going to start out with the morning mantra, and then we'll get into the affirmations and the oracles. It's turned out to be a pretty day today in my area. It's chilly, but it's pretty. Colder than yesterday, for sure. I've had a productive morning today. I've been up since like 4 this morning. One of the many joys of having a schedule that's constantly changing. All right. Can we get one morning mantra, please? Oh. All right, we got 2 here. When I am tempted to gossip, I think of something nice to say instead. And if I can't find nothing to say, I look harder. You know that old saying, if you can't say anything nice, then don't say anything at all? And then the second one says, I choose what's better and healthier for me. Instant gratification is fleeting, but smug satisfaction lasts forever. Like 8 to 12 hours, it says down here in the bottom in parentheses. All right, so if you can't say anything nice, then don't say anything nice at all. Or don't say anything at all. And making healthier choices and benefiting from those choices in the future is better than the instant gratification of unhealthy choices. All right, we'll get a grief affirmation for the day. I've been working in the kitchen this morning, but not in the typical Thanksgiving kind of way of working in the kitchen. Grief never ends, but it changes. It's a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness nor a lack of faith. It is the price of love. You know, that actually came up on my feed earlier in the week where it was talking about, you know, the difference of grieving passed on and grieving that is actually still alive. It is but grief's the same, you know, as far as the stages of grief. All right, we'll get a chakra affirmation. So choose your words and your what you put into your body, make good choices when it comes to that. It looked like there was one that was already flipped over. Yep. Sixth chakra, third eye chakra, imagination. Imagine what life can be like. But also not doing it to the point of like delusion. You know, having dreams and aspiring for things is different than being delusional. All right, still the third eye chakra is what came out. Sixth chakra. We got self-discipline on the bottom of the deck and willpower and determination on the top of the deck. Acknowledge spirit. I think it was in the Celestial Insights that we saw spirit yesterday. I trust in a higher source and I acknowledge my direct connection with it. In the stillness, I listen for the wisdom inside, and I am open to the spirituality that is within and all around me. I know that love is the creative force. I meditate and welcome mystical truths. I am open to seeking guidance in my spiritual quests from a spiritual teacher, master, or guru. You know, it's important to remember that there's always more to learn. Being open and willing to learn, especially from people that might be different from you, can be difficult. But opening yourself up and being willing to learn from the people, places, situations that are a part of your life. Once again, it mentions the stillness. Our chakra affirmation spoke of that yesterday. Making time for the quiet time. Embracing those small little moments that you get where you can sit in the stillness. All right, Wild Offering Oracle. I can see that I'm a little fuzzy this morning. That was aging that wanted to show itself. That service that flipped over. Patience on the bottom of the deck. And money. Service. You stop using the universe to try to get what you want and start asking love to use you. You offer all and want to be of service. Ironically, many desires become fulfilled without grasping or manipulation. Spiritual Sag always used to say, when you're nervous, perform acts of service. Also going back to what we talked about yesterday with the patience and being in those stages or phases in life where you have to wait for things to happen. Use that time to be of service to someone else, whether that's animals, people, Mother Nature, acts of service. Let's see. I think I saw yesterday that you guys can see them better if I put them here. Then we got patience. If you've tried forever to shift a problem, there's probably something to learn from embracing it. May I let this be for now. Help me relax and trust every need will be met. Often change soon follows. I'm wondering if maybe I should disconnect and reconnect and see if I get a better connection. Well, I'm going to try that. Maybe it's because I guess we'll try it that way. Maybe it's because I had my phone turned sideways. All right, and then we got money. All my finances are now in divine order. Love itself knows my needs and is the source for all. I needn't cling to gain or fear loss. Every need will be met through offering all to the divine. So be going back to this is very much lining up with what we talked about yesterday, but with the patience, what do you do in those times of waiting? How do you make use of your time? When you're having to wait for things to come into fruition in your own life, a good way to spend that time is to be of service to someone or something else. All right, now we'll pull from the mindfulness deck. Trusting that the divine will send what you need your way. Even though it may not come in the way you think it should or in the time that you think it should. So, going back to our mantras and our affirmations, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Make better choices, healthier choices. We got 2 this time. The more tired you are, the heavier you feel. The more refreshed you are, the lighter you feel. How you feel affects how you experience life. If you are currently feeling tired, either physically or emotionally, into a comfortable position, get into a comfortable position and close your eyes. Allow yourself to really sink into your bodily sensation. When you notice a feeling, don't do anything. Just let them be. Then bring your attention to your thoughts. What kind of thoughts can you observe? Just let them be. And as an outsider, observe. Listen to what they are saying. Then hold your hands and either in your mind or aloud say, all this is just fatigue. So, we used to talk about it a lot. Acknowledging those thoughts, acknowledging those feelings, but at the same time, not letting them take over and not holding on to them. Because, like that card says, it weighs you down. It makes you feel heavier. Leave it flipped over. All right, and then the second one, it is not strength to hide or deny your emotions. It is strength to feel and to try to put your experience into words. When you notice an emotion, take a moment to inspect how and where you can feel it in your body. Place your hand on the area where you feel pressure. Even though it may hurt, breathe calmly. Let the feeling be. Then try to name the feeling. When you learn to name your feelings, you also make it easier to let them out by talking about them. It might feel easier to ignore oppressive feelings. However, the feeling will not go away, no matter how hard you try to push it down. So, acknowledging your feelings. I just said that. You know, Feelings need to be felt. We don't have to linger there. We don't have to get stuck there, but it's important. Even if, I mean, you don't have to acknowledge them or talk about them to other people, but at least being able to acknowledge them to yourself is very important. Okay, well, now let's see. Let me put these. These are the ones from yesterday. Yesterday we got the change, and the chakra was meditation and silence. So kind of similar energy today. All right, let's pull from the Angels of Abundance. Yesterday we got release resentment about money. Funny because we got the money card today. Pay yourself first and windfall of abundance. I hope everybody has a peaceful, joyful day today, a calm day, a positive day. For so many people, this day becomes chaotic and stressful, and no part of life is meant to be chaotic and stressful, especially times like right now. You know, remember the things that you have that so many people don't have. You know, so for a couple hours this morning, I really just kind of reflected, and look at that. Pay yourself first, flipped back out. We're not going to read it because we just got that yesterday, but it flipped right back out. You know, a year ago, my life was so different. I thankfully got out of the situation that I was in, and, you know, took my life back into my own hands, and was finally able to truly open up and ask for help, which is not something that comes very easy to me. You know, and in reality, I have nobody to blame but myself. I'm the one that put myself in the situation that I was in. But I sure was thankful, and still am very grateful that there were people willing to help me get out of that situation. Okay, Angels of Abundance. Look at that. It's still coming out. Pay yourself first. Deservingness on the bottom of the deck. Moonlighting on the top of the deck. I guess we will read it. It came out yesterday, and it came out twice today. Make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you get paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have savings to invest in your present and your future. Put these over here. Then deservingness. You are a beloved child of God like everyone else, and you deserve to receive the support that will allow you to focus upon your divine life purpose. Even if you can't yet recognize your lovable qualities, trust that God and the angels can see how amazing you truly are. So being deserving of paying yourself, it's a form of self-love, you know, preparing for the future, being able to provide for yourself, not having to depend on others. And then you got moonlighting. You can start working on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay the bills. Soon, your dream career will take flight and fully support you. That goes back to what we were talking about yesterday with the creativity and imagination. And, you know, it came up multiple times. Side project, a hobby, creating change in small increments, you know, little baby steps, tiptoeing. You know, no matter how small the steps are that you're taking, Progress is progress, either way. All right, now we'll pull from the Namaste deck, the Stress Less deck. Yesterday, we got pay attention to your posture. Not only your physical posture, but your spiritual posture. The picture has gotten a little better, I think, since I turned the phone around. You guys don't really get to see. Hold on, let me. There we go. All right. Namaste, stress less. Relax your body. Travel to your peaceful place. Name your emotions. Look at that. That goes right along. Which one was it? Yeah. When you learn to name your feelings, you also make it easier to let them out by talking about them. So that lines up perfectly. Name your emotions. When you are passionate about an issue, we can become immersed in a feeling we don't quite understand. Learn to name your emotions. This will help you understand what you are feeling. Getting to know what is driving you will allow you to connect with what you stand for. Wow. All right, and then we got travel to your peaceful place. You don't have to jump on an airplane to experience that place of personal power and tranquility that leaves you feeling rejuvenated. Instead of a physical vacation, travel to your favorite place, often using visualization. Close your eyes, relax your body. Look at that, relax your body. Imagine a place you feel connected to that gives you a sense of peace and or power. Often this is a place in nature that you have enjoyed and may know quite well. It may also be a place you have never physically been but would like to go. Rest here for a while and pay attention to each sense. Is the wind blowing your hair? Do you smell sweet grass or the soft, damp earth? What do you see? Pay attention to these details, and as you continue to practice, your place may become more and more vivid. Traveling to your peaceful place can help you relax your mind and body. For an enhanced experience, imagine your breath entering each part of your body as you release the tension. So name your emotions, relax your body, and travel to your peaceful place. Quiet time, meditation, getting grounded. Grounded in your emotions, grounded in your environment. Intermission. All right, now we'll pull from the angel number deck. Yesterday we got 6, 99, and 7. Balance, rebirth, and soul purpose. 233, positivity on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Seven, soul purpose was stuck to the bottom. 4, organization. 2244, acceptance. And 345, personal power. Focus, discipline, clarity, structure, empowerment, problem solving. Stay focused on your life journey. Your angels want you free from distractions. Good organization empowers you to isolate and overcome the difficulties you've been facing. What steps can I take to better organize my life and stay focused on what truly matters? Today, set aside time to organize your thoughts, plans, or environment, allowing yourself to tackle challenges with clarity and purpose. Then 2244, which very much aligns with the 4. 22 makes 4. 4 and 4 makes 8. 48 breaks down to a 12, which breaks down to a 3. All right, acceptance. Surrender, let go, peace, clarity, adaptability, moving forward. Embrace what you cannot change and let go of past grievances. Focus on what you can control moving forward to realign yourself with your goals and purpose. What aspects of my life am I struggling to accept? How can I focus on what I can control and move forward? Identify one situation you've been resisting or dwelling on and choose one step to take toward acceptance and positive change. So accepting what was, accepting what is, and doing what you can to positively affect what is to come. Personal power, strength, change, reflection, empowerment, future creation. You have the personal power and strength to create the changes you desire in your life. Reflect on your current situation and identify areas of dissatisfaction. Your future is in your hands and depends on how you choose to shape it. What specific changes do you want to make in your life? And how can you use your personal power to achieve them? Take a moment to write down the areas of your life where you feel dissatisfied and outline actionable steps you can take to address these issues and create the future you desire. All of this very much lining up with the organization. Getting organized about your thoughts, about your goals, everything from bills to, it even talked about a vacation. You don't have to go on a vacation. Save that money. Going back to the pay yourself from the Angels of Abundance deck, saving your money and going back even further to the daily mantra, making better, healthier, more positive choices. All right, now we'll pull from the Celestial Insights. Yesterday we had confusion, yes, spirit, and renewal. And twin flame and hope literally just fell off the top of the deck when I opened the box. All right. Celestial insights. I even like a sense of accountability, organization, acceptance, and personal power. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, taking accountability for either where you're at in life or, where you plan to go in the future. And even going back to what we were talking about yesterday about creating change, that you're the only one that can truly create change in your life, even if creating that change involves accepting the fact that you need to ask for help, surrendering to the fact that, you know, sometimes we need to step out of our comfort zone and, be honest with ourselves and the people around us that we're struggling and we need help in whatever way that is, spiritually, emotionally, physically, whatever. Grief never ends, but it changes. It's a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness nor a lack of faith. It is the price of love. Even if we're talking about self-love, sometimes we have to, going back to what I said when we first got that card, sometimes we have to make healthy decisions for ourselves, which requires us to walk away from people, places, and things that no longer serve us. And it's because we care about those people or we care about that situation. So we still go through a grief process even though we made that choice. You got healing. And then you got tree on the bottom of the deck. And soul, happy, rekindle, connection on the top of the deck. Having strong boundaries and loving yourself enough to walk away from people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Acknowledging that spirit will be there to love you and guide you and teach you and hold your hand, basically, and help us make better, healthier choices for us, not for the people that are around us. All right, healing. You are in the process of healing. Give yourself the time and space you need. Have you been neglecting your emotional or physical health? Prioritize self-care and allow yourself to recover fully. So giving yourself, kind of going back to what we were talking about yesterday with the hibernation energy, giving yourself the space and time that you need to fully heal and recover. This is the time to do that. This is the time to focus on internal healing and internal growth and withdraw from the outside world a little bit. All right, tree. Like a tree, deep roots create stability and growth. Are you feeling ungrounded? Focus on building a strong foundation in all areas of your life to support your long-term growth. So, making the commitment, getting organized, accepting what needs to be done, accepting that it's up to you to get it done, the personal power. All right, and then you got soul, happy, rekindle. Your soul is longing to reconnect with something or someone. Have you drifted away from a meaningful connection? Take the initiative to rekindle this relationship or experience. as it may bring you deep joy. You know, that could be rekindling your relationship with yourself, you know, family, friends, whatever, fill in the blank. All right, we got the Mystical Dream deck. Last time we had Falling, Forest, Flame, FFF, Stars, and Shoes. This is one of the relatively new decks. And it's one of the bigger decks as well. I haven't gotten it completely broke in yet. Let's see if I can shuffle them. No, I don't want to do that because then that'll mix them up. Never mind. I hope everybody's having a positive, peaceful, productive day today. Staying warm. Spending time with the people you care about, if that's an option that you have. All right. Mystical Dream Oracle deck. Door, Guardian, and Demon. We got Fox on the top of the deck. Wow, falling right under Demon. Loneliness on the bottom of the deck. Close. Door, Guardian, Demon, Fox, and Loneliness. Door symbolizes transition and choice, marking the threshold of a new phase in life. Dreaming of a door suggests an opportunity or decision awaits. It urges you to step out of your comfort zone and embrace new possibilities. We talked about that yesterday. Whether in your personal life or spiritual journey, this moment is about making choices that shape your future. Don't hesitate to move forward, even if the path ahead isn't clear. That's exactly what we talked about yesterday. And one of the cards that we got yesterday, it talked about a door closing, but a window opening. All right, Guardian. A guardian in your dream represents protection and guidance, either from a spiritual source or an inner power. We did get personal power with the angel numbers. The guardian symbolizes a force that is watching over you, ensuring your safety and guiding your journey. Dreaming of a guardian suggests that you are being supported on your path, and it's a reminder to trust the guidance and strength that is available to you during difficult moments. And then we got Demon. Demon represents inner darkness, temptation, and unresolved conflicts. Dreaming of a demon suggests you're facing hidden or denied parts of yourself, such as fears or past trauma. It challenges you to transform these dark aspects into sources of strength, urging you to confront your inner shadows and heal from negative emotions. Then we got Fox. The fox represents clever wisdom and adaptability, reminding you not to rely solely on intuition, but to consider the smartest strategy and subtle thinking when faced with complex situations. It also suggests that some truths are not immediately obvious and require deeper observation and sight to uncover their underlying motives and goals. So, making sure that you have all the facts before you make a decision. take time to process whatever's going on. All right, loneliness. Loneliness represents a deep connection with your inner self and an opportunity for growth. Dreaming of loneliness invites you to understand your true needs and desires. It reflects emotional isolation, encouraging you to face unresolved feelings and embrace your inner strength, preparing for future growth and connection. Wow, that very much lines up with a lot of what's out here right now and what we talked about yesterday. Going into the hibernation mode, taking the time to properly heal, closing certain doors, closing, other ones opening, accepting that, preparing for that, preparing for change, being willing to change, being willing to learn. Going back to the tree card, establishing a strong foundation. We talked about it earlier about getting grounded. You know, making that a priority, making it important to stay grounded, to name your emotions, feel those feelings. I keep trying to make more room with these, and I'm just going to have to overlap them. I just can't. I don't have enough room here. All right. Now we'll get the Echo of the Soul Oracle. Yesterday we had the Maverick and the Road Ahead. Both cards have similar imagery. This is a man's body, but with a bird head. This is a complete woman's body. When this card came out yesterday, Britney Spears came on the radio, and it really does look like Britney Spears. I'm just saying, you know. And they're both standing in front of cars. The cars are similar colors. So, like a mirroring energy almost. All right. Aftermath on the bottom of the deck, which is card number 28, which breaks down to a 10. Which breaks down to a 1, which is masculine energy. Echoes of the Soul Oracle. I wonder how many businesses are open today, even though it's the holiday. Of course, I'm in a small town, so not many of them are, but like in the bigger cities and stuff, I wonder how many businesses are actually closed today. The Raven's Judgment, number 20. Copper, go on, get out of my room, please. Go. Then we got the Edge of Renewal, number 3 on the bottom of the deck. And then Crimson Resolve, number 35 on the bottom of the deck. So we'll read all of 20, but we'll just look at the other two. But 20, the Raven's Judgment, is what actually came out. the edge of renewal, number 3. Key themes: transformation, resilience, new beginnings, cycles of growth, empowerment through change. And then we got 35 with Crimson Resolve. Key themes: pain, resilience, transformation through suffering, strength in vulnerability, and renewal. So a lot of renewal, change, out with the old, in with the new kind of energy. All right, and then we got 20. The Raven's Judgment. Key themes: shadow work, consequences, accountability, transformation, self-forgiveness, and lessons from the past. Message: the Raven watches a silent witness. The Raven watches a silent witness to the choices that shape your path. This presence asks you to confront the shadows of your past, those actions, decisions, or moments left unresolved. The weight of these shadows may feel heavy, but within them lies the potential for transformation. Accountability is not a punishment, but a liberation, a chance to learn, to grow, and reclaim your power. The Raven's Judgment reminds you that only through acknowledgement can you rewrite the story and embrace the freedom that follows. Guidance. This card calls for introspection and honesty. It asks you to reflect on past actions and decisions that may still linger in your thoughts. Perhaps you feel guilt, regret, or uncertainty about how to move forward. The Raven's Judgment does not bring blame, but offers an opportunity for healing through accountability and self-awareness. By acknowledging your missteps and making amends, whether with others or yourself, you transform the shadows into lessons that empower your journey. Trust that in facing these truths, you can create space for renewal and freedom. Affirmation: I face my past with courage and compassion. Through accountability, I transform shadows into lessons and reclaim my power. Actionable insight: identify one unresolved situation or lingering regret that feels ready to be addressed. Take a step toward resolution, whether it's having an honest conversation, offering an apology, or forgiving yourself. Approach this action with patience and self-compassion, trusting that even small steps lead to meaningful transformation. Reflection: the Raven's Judgment reminds you that the past need not define you, but it does hold wisdom when you're willing to face it. By acknowledging and understanding your shadows, you step into your power to create a brighter and more intentional future. This process is not about perfection, but about growth, resilience, and the courage to embrace your truth. What truth does the Raven's Judgment reveal to you today? How will you use it to transform your path forward? So, very much connecting with what we talked about yesterday. But also acknowledging what we've talked about today about accountability and acceptance and, processing those emotions, processing that grief, and allowing yourself to build upon those lessons instead of, suffering from them. All right, now we'll pull from the Nature's Seasons Oracle. Sky and fire slid off the top of the deck as I opened the box. Yesterday we got sorrow, deer, and summer. We've got joy, optimism, and happiness on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Wishes and miracles on the cut. One more. All right. Look at that. It flipped right back out. We got bee, bear, and joy. Summer show. We got that yesterday, yesterday on the bottom of the deck. And butterfly, transformation and rebirth on the top of the deck. Very similar colors to the optimism and happiness card. All right, so diligence and cooperation, strength and courage, and optimism and happiness. All right, B. Hard work and spirit of cooperation will be the key to success. Focus your energy like the bee and stay determined. The power of teamwork will bring unexpected results. Believe that collective effort will create a brighter future. Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. Yeah, for sure. All right, then we got strength and courage, the bear. It's the moment, this makes me think of that movie, Brother Bear. That was a good movie. It's the moment to show courage and determination. Whatever challenges come your way, remain steady and confident like the bear. It's a time for important decisions. Take that brave step forward with your inner strength. You know, and this even goes back to the hibernation energy like we were talking about. You know, bears hibernate. And sometimes we have to pull ourselves back from the outside world to protect our strength, and that takes courage. All right, and then optimism and happiness, joy. Joy is the energy of optimism, reminding you that every moment of life is worth celebrating. Today, carry a light heart and look for the little things that bring you happiness and fulfillment. Let joy fill your life and spread it to those around you. Going back to our daily mantra, you know, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Speak words of kindness, not just today, but every day. And not just to others, but to yourself as well. All right, now we'll pull from the Affirmators deck. Yesterday, we got engagement and courage. Double confirmation on the courage. You know, sometimes it takes courage to maintain your personal power, to accept that some people, places, and things are not necessarily good for you. Going back to our mantra, talking about choosing better, making healthier choices. You know, we always think of like food and you know, when we talk about that, stuff like that. But in reality, that's the people that you surround yourself with, the activities that you participate in. All right, we get affirmation from the Affirmators deck. self-help without all the self-helpiness. Gratitude. Perfect for today. Forgiveness on the bottom of the deck. And communication on the top of the deck. Wow, how appropriate. Happy Thanksgiving. Be grateful. Express that gratitude. Even if that gratitude involves forgiveness. Gratitude. Today I'm grateful for all the little things. Even when the big things suck, there are always plenty of little things I can be at least a little grateful for. Like hot showers and music. And the fact that humans invented an internet and I'm allowed to use it whenever I want to. Using fingers and thumbs to do whatever I think them to do at any given moment. All right, then we have forgiveness. Congratulations. You're being given one of the most powerful superpowers there is. Forgiveness. Imagine that you've been bitten by a radioactive forgiver. The point is, you suddenly have the ability to forgive people for their flaws, their bad days, their unkind moments, and their mistakes. And the best thing about forgiveness is that you can apply it to yourself too. Have fun wielding your new power. But remember, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. Very much lining up with the acceptance, angel number 2244. And personal power 345. Then we have communication. Wonder how that other person's feeling. Ask them. Wish they knew how you were feeling. Tell them. You've just been drafted into the communication army, where there is a strict do ask, do tell policy. Speak with kindness and gentleness and reach an understanding. If you don't, assumption will just make asses of everyone, including the person who came up with that aphorism. So, being open to communicate, being willing to forgive, showing gratitude for the opportunity to forgive, whether it's yourself or someone else. Intermission. Next, we'll pull from the Animal Allies, the Birds deck. Last time we had Penguin, Flicker, and Parakeet. Penguin talks about using skills that you already have in a different way, giving your dreams a vision. If I remember correctly, Flicka talked about like bracing for change, being able to go with the flow as things are changing. That's a good skill to have, for sure. You know, going back to what we've read already, healing, forgiving yourself, and honestly communicating with yourself about things that you need to heal from. You know, mistakes that you've made, we've all made choices in our lives where we look back and like, dang, I really could have done that differently. But instead of living with the grief or living with the regret, being able to forgive yourself for those things. And going back to our Namaste deck, naming your emotions being able to understand your emotions and understand the way you feel. And like I said, when we were talking about that earlier, even if you can't do that with other people, at least being able to do that with yourself. Being vulnerable and talking to people out about things like that, especially if it's something deep, we it's hard to open up and be vulnerable like that with other people. It's a little bit easier to do it with ourselves. All right, animal allies. Going over our angel numbers again. Number 4, organization. 2244, acceptance. And 345, personal power. Accepting that the power is in your hands to get organized, to offer forgiveness, to properly communicate, to be grateful. You know, that's all up to you. I used to say it a lot. I don't say it as much anymore. Happiness is a conscious choice, not an automatic response. All right, we got goldfinch, toucan. We see robin on the bottom of the deck and hummingbird on the top of the deck. Goldfinch and toucan. Goldfinch, superpowers. Can-do attitude, zest for life, childlike wonder, devotion to family, home, and partnership, creating your own luck, ability to lighten the mood. I don't remember which card it was in. I think it was the diligence and cooperation where it talked about teamwork. Goldfinch wisdom. Being joyful is not just something you are. It's a practice. What did I just say? What you pay attention to becomes more obvious over time. So be sure to zero in on the good stuff. When goldfinch appears, ask yourself what you look forward to with excited anticipation. Invite more of that into your life. Goldfinch wants you to know your brand of happy may look different than you thought it would, but it's building bit by bit in a beautiful way. Adding in more of what brings you pleasure and editing out stuff that drags your energy down helps. What did we talk about earlier? Being grateful for the good that you have in your life, being honest with yourself and be able to accept the people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Yes, a certain amount of grief is going to come from walking away from people, places, and things that you care about. But giving that love and that acceptance and that energy to yourself is a better use of that time and energy. All right, toucan. Toucan superpowers. Exploring, but also nesting. Creativity, storytelling, being both introverted and extroverted. Toucan wisdom. Two things can be true at the same time. It is possible to feel two emotions at once, even if they are opposites. One does not cancel out the other. Like being able to feel and experience grief and joy simultaneously. It's possible. But to people that have never experienced it, they don't understand it. When toucan appears, embrace the parts of you that feel at odds with each other. Examine the aspects of yourself where a more loving approach could be cultivated. Toucan wants you to know you are capable of so much more than you even realize. You can do many things that seem at odds with one another. Being tired but still exercising. Being angry and still feeling compassion. No part of who you are is out of character, even if it feels that way sometimes. Very much lining up with the 345 angel number, the personal power, the strength and courage coming from the bear with the nature's oracle, the tree from the celestial insights, planting roots, establishing a strong foundation, having the boundaries to maintain that foundation, being able to say no or say yes, whatever is best for you, whatever is the healthiest, most beneficial choice for you. You know, practicing the pause and taking time to process the decision that you're making instead of just jumping in. Remember, like we talked about yesterday, just dipping your toe in. Whether you just dip your toe in or you jump in, you're going to create ripples either way. So for your safety and for your benefit, step back, practice the pause, acknowledge spirit, acknowledge how you're feeling, name your emotions, relax your body, travel to your peaceful place, practicing the pause, and take the time to make healthier, more positive choices, right? Okay. Explore the universe of gems and minerals. Yesterday we got aventurine and selenite. Fluorite on the top right there. That's a beautiful stone. Aquamarine showing itself. Serpentine. That's a pretty color green. Intuition, desire, and transcendence. Crystal fact. Can be found under the ocean and in places that were once submerged beneath long ago seas. All right. Intuition, desire, and transcendence. We had garnet on the bottom of the deck. Vitality, passion, and love. All right, now we'll pull from the Archangel Fire Oracle. Yesterday, we had Azrael connected to Neptune. I confess I did forget to look up the Neptune energy, but I will do that. Going back to the Wild Offering Oracle, the patience, service, and money. Be patient. Be of service in your waiting. All right, Archangel Fire Oracle. Cassiel, more feminine energy. Christ on the bottom of the deck, number 36. And Raphael on the top of the deck, number 17. So number 4, number 36, and number 17. We did get 4 in the organization. All right, we'll read the short messages from the guys, and then we'll read Cassiel's whole message. So we got 17. Raphael is healing. Wow. We did get the healing card in the Celestial Insights. His message: I have heard your prayers for healing. Allow yourself time out to rest and integrate. Trust that I am helping you to heal and restoring your energy and equilibrium. He's got pink roses standing in front of a fountain. All right, and then 36. Peace. A more peaceful time is coming to you. You have worked hard to create peace in your life and the lives of others. Trust that as you do no harm shall come to you. See how his heart is exposed, but it's radiating the aura out of it? Going back to our mantra about speaking kind words, not only to others, but most definitely to yourself. So, peace and healing. And then we got Cassiel, number 4. Serenity. Peace and healing. Serenity. Her message: spend some much needed time alone in quiet solitude to rest and recharge. Honor your emotions and be gentle with yourself. The angel of serenity, solitude, and temperance. Cassiel's name means God is my cover. And this gentle angel can help you to find great strength in your solitude. When life gets on top of us and we feel overwhelmed, Cassiel reminds us of the importance of taking time out. She also helps us honor our boundaries and to say no when we need to. What did I say about when you mean say no when you mean no? Cassiel's message is that it is okay to put yourself first so you don't become drained. Like the image of her as a graceful Indian woman in this card, as the angel of tears, Cassiel assures us there is no shame in showing our vulnerability. By holding in our emotions, we can stifle ourselves. Wow. Going all the way back to the Namaste card of name your emotions. Another name for this angel is Speed of God, because her ability to help us heal faster. Crying can be so healing as it washes away sorrows and clears old hurts. Cassiel also brings us the strength to step back on our path after our period of solitude and serenity. She helps us get back on track with our purpose. Even when we feel we don't want to or that we aren't ready, Cassiel will give you the motivation to pick yourself up. Wow. Beautiful. That says everything that we've talked about out here today and then some. All right, now we'll pull from the wisdom or the chakra wisdom oracle. Yesterday we got soulmate and bittersweet. Completion on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Gratitude just tried to bend. Double confirmation on the gratitude. We got that with the Affirmators deck, along with communication and forgiveness. Maybe you have forgiven somebody in your heart, but you need to communicate that forgiveness to the other person. Maybe it's something that's weighing them down, and it's a burden on them. Guilt just bent as well. Releasing the guilt. That happens a lot with these cards. Gratitude and grief on the bottom of the deck, on the cut. Releasing the guilt of, you know, the role that you played in whatever the situation is. Forgiving yourself. Releasing the regret or the shame or the guilt from whatever situation. That's your personal power. Part of your personal power, you know, accepting the part that you played, but also knowing that it's time to let it go. The 2244, acceptance, surrender, let go, peace, clarity, adaptability, moving forward. Knowing that until you truly end whatever it is, it's going to hold you back in one way, shape, or form. All right, Chakra Wisdom Oracle. Guilt is natural. Shame is natural. Regret is natural. It's definitely part of the grief process. And like we've talked so many times before, grief comes in all different shapes and situations. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to do even with another person. It could be a loss of any kind. A job, a home, a status. Renewal. We saw renewal somewhere else. Perception on the bottom of the deck. And miracle on the top of the deck. I think we had renewal yesterday, actually. Miracle, perception, and renewal. Renewal is what's actually flipped out, and that's red, which is base chakra, root chakra. And it's actually the first card of the deck. Geranium. This is another beginning. You know, we did get the death and rebirth energy yesterday. You know, something has to end for something new to begin. There's Brittany again. You could even consider this like emperor energy, because 1 is a masculine number. You know, yesterday we got that independent woman energy. All right. Geraniums' leaves shrivel and are stolen by the wind. Okay. I can't ignore it. Trying to find when you are able to switch your way of thinking. Okay. And I'll use the holiday as an example. For a lot of us, this time of year is a very emotional time of year. You know, we have, it shows us how much healing we have left to do. You know, either because we've lost someone, going back to the grief, the loneliness in the dream cards, being able to travel to a peaceful place, the good memories, remembering the good times, being able to quote unquote flip the script, where when a certain trigger might activate a negative response or a negative memory, try to flip that and find a positive memory that you can associate with that trigger. For me, I get triggered a lot by different smells. A smell can trigger a memory for me really quick. All right. Back to this. Geranium's leaves shrivel and are stolen by the wind. She is pried from her pot and is deeply saddened when she is thrown away. But when she awakens, she is blooming once again. Now she lives in a large park, a former landfill site, surrounded by lush greenery, and her roots reach deeper than ever before, opening her to the possibilities of her new life. Inspiration. What appears to be an end may not be one after all. This may turn into a remarkable opportunity. Trust that whatever is coming is better than what you have known to this point. Personal inquiry. Am I positive in the face of change or defeated? Am I ready to step into the new me? Key ideas. Sourcing from a more beneficial place, feeling in the dark, change in circumstances, and unexpected blessings. Keywords: regeneration, awakening, and fortune. So kind of going back to what we talked about yesterday with, embracing change and how you respond to change. Wilson Phillips. I know this pain. Some chains. I know this pain. I don't know why I can't remember the words right now, but it's a Wilson Phillips song. Oh, I didn't mean to put that up yet. We got miracle and perception. We're not going to read the whole thing, but we'll at least glance at it. Miracle, sun sparkler, integrity is what turns on the light. Inspiration. Do you let someone in or do you pretend not to see them? You cannot shut out pain without shutting out pleasure. Kindness exists to lend magic to integrity. Personal inquiry. The essence of inspiration is integrity. Can I be counted on? Key ideas. Being a light, lighting the way for others, coming miracles. Key words: integrity, gifts, and reward. And then we have perception. Emerald stone, the heart knows what the eyes cannot see. Inspiration. Often our journey brings us full circle, leaving us to wonder why things happen. Emerald stone teaches us to follow through on whatever is before us. Going back is not an option. Personal inquiry. What in my life needs tending? How good will I allow myself to feel? Key ideas. Transformation in the heart, change in perception, the unknown, promise of a richer experience. Keywords: beauty, open-heartedness, and appreciation. All right, now we'll pull from the Wandering Heart Oracle. Yesterday we got celebration, number 14, which breaks down to a 5. We got source, number 1, kind of resembling the renewal card that we got. Very similar imagery. Oh, sorry, I was holding it where you couldn't see it. Very similar imagery. All right, and then alchemy on the top of the deck as we're getting started. Also, very strong feminine energy out here today as well. You got a woman in the perception, a woman in the renewal. If you look in the miracle card, you can also see the image of a woman in the flame. We also got feminine energy in the Archangel Fire Oracle. All right. Wandering Heart Oracle. Being willing and allowing doors to close so that new ones can open. Taking this time to go into hibernation, to heal, to organize, to assess, to prepare yourself for the next steps, to prepare yourself to take action. Going back to the diligence and the cooperation. Accepting where you are and making smart choices to get where you want to be. I am, number 2. Is what came out. Bear fruit, number 40 on the bottom of the deck. And orgasm, number 13 on the top of the deck. So I am, number 2. I am love in its purest form. Vulnerability supports my evolution. I talked about earlier about being vulnerable. Certainty and empowerment. Going back to the angel number 345, personal power. You are the embodiment of strength. You've learned to be accepting of all flaws, knowing they do not define your existence. You have arrived back at your home state of being. Here you are at ease with free-flowing assertiveness. You know yourself. You are proud. You trust in your ability to make beneficial decisions. You have no regrets moving forward. You sit in gratitude, appreciating the beauty that is life. This feeling is beyond reach. You are right where you're supposed to be. And there's an affirmation with it. It says, I am happy because I choose to be. I am adored because I deserve to be. The love I give out comes back tenfold. I am patient, knowing all good things arrive in divine timing. Okay, so we got the mantra about I choose what's better and healthier for me. Then it says I am adorned because I deserve to be. And if we go all the way back to the Angel of Abundance deck, we got deservingness. And it says, I am patient. If we go even further back to the to the Wild Offering Oracle, we got the patience card. So be patient and knowing that your blessings will come in divine timing. That Spirit will send you what you need, who you need, when you need it. All right, now we will pull from the Herbal Astrology Oracle. First, we're going to take a little intermission. Do, 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 do. Yesterday, we got a manita, which is a type of mushroom. Number 42, conduit. A hallucinogenic mushroom at that. One more time. Valerian. Number 44. We got 4 and 44. So if you were to do it like this, 444. Valerian, 44, acceptance. Acceptance. Accepting what was, accepting what is, and accepting that it's up to you to change or influence or decide what's to come. We got Lion's Mane, number 18, leadership on the bottom of the deck. That's also a mushroom. And then Rishi, retreat, number 27, which is also a mushroom. So, significance of mushrooms. Oh, look at there. When I opened up the book, I opened it right up to Rishi 27, retreat. All right, 44, valerian. Valerian is a sedative. It helps you sleep. Valerian root, specifically. All right. Order, loosening, acceptance, embracing imperfection, persistence, and flow. Once again, astrological ruler Neptune. Strong Neptune energy yesterday and today. Ancient physicians referred to this plant as Phu, Phu, due to the pungency of its smell. It smells horrible. Referenced in text as smelly old socks, while other names of the plant such as all heel and cut finger are common. The Latin origin of valerian's name comes from valere, meaning to be strong and healthy. Wow. In medieval Sweden, valerian was sometimes placed in the wedding clothes of the groom to ward off the enemy of the elves and protect the marriage. It was said to be used by witches to protect and unbind those who were the target of evil spells. The Nordic goddess Herthia put valerian on her riding crop, causing the stag she rode to increase in power and speed. In combination with the bridle of hops, valerian is suspected to have helped facilitate the journey between realms, the liminal space often inhabited by witches, or between waking and sleeping life. Both the Greeks and the Celts used valerian to ward off evil, traditionally hanging it in bunches around windows to repel spirits and protect the home from lightning. They also used it to consecrate ritual tools, promote peace, provide purification, break hexes, and enhance stability and happiness. A growing number of clinical trials now show how various types of valerian improve sleep quality and alleviate insomnia, exhaustion, fatigue, and pain. Valerian resembles Neptune's archetype, as the herb greatly relaxes the body and mind to experience deep states of rest, sleep, and even access to other worlds. Neptune is the planet of dreams, other realms, the subconscious mind, the psychic mind, imagination, and a fundamental connection to spirituality. Valerian assists us in abandoning the story that keeps us bound to one reality, allowing us to access beyond our physical body into a greater mystical reality. Guidance. Valerian supports us by widening our trigger points and helping us to zoom out of a situation that might be overloading you with anxiety or stress. Remember, go easy on yourself and don't push yourself too hard to meet goals. Valerian remedies the internal parts of ourselves that can embody mouse energy. When we're overly analytical and judgmental in high trigger mode, the message here is to take measure. Although your foundation can be established with great order, there is a certain amount of flow needed in order to enjoy creativity and growth. Don't exhaust yourself in the details. Embrace your imperfections. Wow. That was a lot. You'll go down in his story. I'm getting like breaking generational curses energy off of that. I'm not really sure why. Okay. Now we'll pull from the Pocket Animal Spirit Oracle deck. Yesterday we got Panther, Dolphin, and Swan. We have multiple animal energies out here already. We have fox and bear and bee. And of course the birds, toucan and goldfinch. All right, Animal Spirit Oracle. That was quick. Moth, lamb on the bottom of the deck, and bear on the top of the deck. Double confirmation on the bear. Let's see, moth is the one that actually flipped over. Let's see, that is air energy. Impulsive, hasty, and wishful. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, enthusiastic and whimsical. When out of balance, idealizes others and jittery. To bring into balance, finish a project. All right, and then we have the bear and lamb. I'm pretty sure both of those are earth energy. Yes. Bear, waking from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. More renewal energy, more change energy. When in balance, inner strength, yearning to grow. When out of balance, withdrawal, lethargy, and heaviness. To bring into balance, movement and exercise. So more, that's really talking about like coming out of hibernation. After a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At the first of movement and effort are difficult. But the bear knows it's time to awaken and move toward the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles. But you have no choice. Bear, winter wanes, the warmth of spring emerges, and your transformation begins. So I'm still getting like a preparation energy. Like, because we are going into winter, like hibernating, preparing, being diligent, making a plan, getting organized, you know, preparing for the renewal. That's just what I feel. All right, and then we had the lamb. peaceful, prophetic, and patient. We got patience. So that's like a triple confirmation on the patience. The Lamb is the bearer of an important message. Its contents can only be heard when a deep level of quiet has been established. Lamb energy is the honest guidance you hear from an old friend, a young child, or sometimes a surprising stranger. Though the Lamb's message may channel through another person, the wisdom resonates within you. It will repeat and reverberate until you listen. Approach this gentle creature with utmost patience and reverence. Truth is a gift. Sit still, listen, and receive. When in balance, knowingness and inner peace. When out of balance, quiet, timid, and concerned. To bring into balance, meditation and listening. Listening to your own inner voice, going back to our chakra wisdom affirmation, acknowledging spirit, taking time, making time for that quiet time so that you can hear your own inner voice and also the voice or energy of spirit. All right, now we'll pull from Mary Magdalene and we'll be done. Yesterday we got the fifth power. I am a body and a soul. We got beloved on the bottom of the deck. Love never ends as we're getting started. Big emphasis on acceptance. Acceptance, preparation, perception, forgiveness and communication, and patience. Pushing through the loneliness, allowing yourself to learn from the loneliness so that you can heal and establish stronger roots, better boundaries, so that you can rekindle either your connection with spirit, your connection with yourself, your soul, a spiritual awakening type energy, like a level up. Remembering who you are, going back to the Wandering Heart Oracle, I am the number 2, and then you had, where's it at? The angel number 345 with the personal power. Remembering who you are, remembering how much power you truly do have. Not necessarily in other people's lives, but in your own life. And that's what matters the most. Not giving that power away to other people. Because, if you think about it, if you do that, then when shit hits the fan, they bail and you're there to clean up the mess. So taking your power back, having the strength and the courage to be able to work with a team, but not just hand over your power. Like, have boundaries, have a firm, solid foundation in knowing who you are and what you bring to the table. All right. Mary, Mary, full of grace, what advice can you give us today? And in reality, if you really practice, you can zone out like that, even when, the environment isn't ideal. that those brief little moments where you can acknowledge, you can feel spirit there. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Almost like you get lightheaded. Like for me, like the bridge of my nose and my in between my eyebrows, that unibrow area, it'll start tingling and kind of going numb. And it almost feels like I'm getting lightheaded, like I'm going to pass out. Sacred worth. I am worthy of love. Going back to the angels of abundance, deservingness. Have the courage to wait for what you deserve, to know your worth and not to settle. Don't put yourself in situations or environments where you feel like you have to settle. Listen to your intuition and what your heart truly desires. Because in reality, deep down, your heart will never let you settle. It won't leave you alone. You can choose to ignore it, but it's never gonna go away until you resolve it in one way, shape, or form. All right, number 66, sacred worth. Worth is not earned or given. Worth is claimed. So what's elusive about worth is that it's easy to forget. It has nothing to do with anyone or anything outside of us. Our worth is inherent. One of the most profound lessons I've acquired on this path of love, Mary Magdalene inspires, is to understand that my voice, that quiet, unassuming voice of love inside me, is worthy of being believed. Not because of any master's degrees I've accumulated, or scholarship or writing I've accomplished, but simply because that voice of love is mine. This is reason enough to know it's worthy of belief. At the end of Mary's gospel, after she reveals the secret teachings Christ gave to her, several of the male disciples don't believe her. She is questioned and disbelieved, especially by the apostle Peter. Levi alone comes to Mary's defense by saying, "If the Savior considered her to be worthy, who are you to disregard her?" For he knew her completely and loved her steadfastly. Referencing Mary chapter 10, verses 9 and 10. On my first pilgrimage to the south of France, when I was in my early 20s and struggling with a sense of self-worth, I attended a festival of Saint Sarah La Caille in Saint Mary's de la Mar, where legends say Mary Magdalene traveled to escape Roman persecution. I was swept up by the singing, dancing, grieving, laughing, the profound sounds of true devotion. I descended into the crypt of the church and watched as Saint Sarah was embraced, prayed over, caressed, and entirely loved. I sank down against the back wall and cried because I knew that nothing I did or said or gained or lost would ever make me less deserving of love. My worth is unconditional. My worth is always right here waiting in the crypt of my heart for me to claim it. And I also knew it was up to me then and now. It's up to all of us to know, like Christ, that Mary's voice is worthy of belief. The soul voice meditation. What helps me remember that I am worthy of love? We are all worthy of love, but in most cases with a lot of people, because we struggle to love ourselves, it affects our ability to accept love from other people as well. Going back to the perception, it's important to be able to pull yourself out of that mindset and look at things from a different perspective. And that there are different ways and different forms of love and how to express that. And going back to our mantra of the day, we actually got two of them today, but the one I'm referring to: when I'm tempted to gossip, I'll think of something nice to say instead. And if I can't find something nice to say, I'll look harder. So if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, whether that's about you or somebody else. But also understanding that that doesn't mean you're a rug meant to be walked on. Being able to tell the difference between, standing up for yourself versus limiting your possibilities because you're not looking at things from a different perspective. Okay. I hope that it in some way, shape, or form helps anyone here, now, in the future, whatever. As always, be grateful for what you have, the big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, but you could possibly change their life, and you never know the impact it could have on yours. Be blessed, find peace, and I'll see you next time.